Thank you very much for staying tuned to MUVI Television. You're watching the Primetime News. My name is Saidlis Nkonjara to present it. The headlines. Gassing emerges again as over 130 pupils are gassed. Kambwili gets 5 years jail sentence. Binoculars zoom in on Mwaliteta over cadarism. Lusaka's United Voice Radio in ashes as broadcasting closes indefinitely. Jackson Silabwe has congratulated government on the suspension of Mukula exports. Now Zambia has been granted a request by CAF in World Cup match. Teacher dies after fight with wife over text messages. And now the news in detail. A 28-year-old Lusaka maid, Helen Banda, and her boyfriend, Chilima Kambwili, have been jailed for 5 years for abducting 2 children of Asian origin. The duo was demanding a ransom of 2 million kwacha from the juvenile's parents for their release. In delivering sentence, Chief Resident Magistrate Dominic Magalichi says the convicts ought to have respected other people's rights, adding that they could have used other means of making money other than kidnapping children. In this matter, the convicts were facing 2 counts of abduction and 1 count of theft of a motor vehicle amounting to 110,000 kwacha. Allegations in the first and second counts being that Helen and Kambwili on 13th September 2021, whilst acting together in Lusaka, unlawfully took Sandishan and Njakish Patel, who are under the age of 16, out of care and protection of their parents, namely Kumar D. Patel, having unlawful care against her will. It was also alleged that in the third count, the duo, on the same date, jointly and whilst acting together, stole a Toyota Allion of registration number BAG 5479, valued at 110,000 kwacha, property of Mr. Patel. During their plea, the duo admitted the charge, claiming that their actions were as a result of being fired and also failure to get a full salary from their employers. You're watching the news on MUVI Television. We'll have that picture coming up shortly. Now, Opposition Patriotic Front, PF, have accused President Hakainde Hichilema of appointing people in government based on friendship and tribe. Speaking at the media briefing in Lusaka, party chairperson in charge of information and publicity, Rafo Nakachinda, cites the appointment of Masho Mujende, Deni Gariaria, and Mulilo Kabesha as being close friends and related to the head of state. He also challenges the head of state to explain who have been controlling the affairs of government since the dismissal of some permanent secretaries and diplomats a week ago. Meanwhile, Mr. Nakachinda discloses the PF has sued the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, and other investigative wings for victimizing some of the senior PF leaders through investigations into source of funding of PF as a political party during the campaigns. He argues so far more than 4 senior leaders have appeared before the investigative wings outside the provisions of the law.
Of zeal, pursuing specifically members and officials of Patriotic Front. And because they don't really have anything tangible to really place on these officials and members, they have resorted themselves to begin to conduct themselves in an illegal manner. Today, the party has sued in the court of law all the law enforcing agencies through the Attorney General to demand that the court make a ruling on the fact that their activities are illegal. Him over the funding of the Patriotic Front. So basically, we are law-abiding citizens. If the police, Simon Nakatinda, will go there to go and answer. But if we find that the questions they are asking are as silly as the ones being asked by DEC over the funding of Patriotic Front, we will continue to expose. But we have taken a further step to sue them, and that's how come we're having this press briefing. But the greatest concern we have is that the three appointments that have been made clearly are based on nepotism, family. We have Dr. Kariaria, who is a cousin to the president. We have Mr. Kabesha, who is a relation to the president's wife, all the way from Mumbwa, Sara area, and Eline, by tribe. We have my brother Mujende, Marshal Mujende, who happens to have been a personal lawyer for Misaka in the Ichirema for many years, doing all his transactions, some of which are subject to litigations in court and have not been resolved, whether it's to do with issues of land and other business deals. We're a bit concerned that how can you have somebody who you have been doing business with as your personal lawyer
has accused the UPND of not being serious in the fight against cadarism in markets and bus stations. This follows remarks attributed to UPND's Lusaka Province Chairperson Obvious Mwaliteta that the party will form branches in markets and bus stations. Mr. Nagachinda says the sentiments by Mr. Mwaliteta clearly demonstrate that the UPND, that President Hakainde Hichilema does not mean what he preaches.
Is it obvious Mwaliteta giving counter instructions to ministers is truly takataka. So we don't know who is in authority, whether it is Hakainde Hichilema or it is William Banda or indeed it is obvious Mwaliteta. No wonder when Barry is saying we don't want violence to continue, our members in the markets, our members in the compounds have continued to be brutalized because really President Hakaine's directives are not being adhered to. They are being defied by his own lieutenants, some of them of whom you know their history. I don't know who doesn't know William Banda here. I don't know who doesn't know obvious Mwaliteta and his background. That will leave to you, the media, to dig and be able to give the Zambian people facts. But we want to say to Barry, can you get serious and take charge? You are no longer in opposition. You are in government and president of the Republic of Zambia. Take charge and make sure that the correct things are done. Don't say certain things to the gallery and give certain instructions in the night and are only seen by the conduct of either the police, DEC, SEC, and your cadres. That must stop. That hypocrisy must stop. Thank you very much and God bless you.
And International Security Minister Jack Mwimbu, Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu says UPND Lusaka Province Chairperson Obvious Mwaliteta merely meant that the cadres will be orderly as they politic in markets and bus stations when he said UPND will establish party branches everywhere. Mr. Mwimbu made this statement when he issued a ministerial statement on the floor of the House concerning the position of the ongoing political violence perpetuated by suspected UPND cadres. The statement followed a point of order raised by Shiwangandu Member of Parliament Stephen Kampyongo, who wanted to know what government was doing to stop the act. We retake a story earlier read where a 28-year-old Lusaka maid Helen Banda and her boyfriend Chilimuna Kambwili, have been jailed for 5 years for abducting 2 children of Asian origin. The duo was demanding ransom of 2 million kwacha from the juvenile's parents for their release. In delivering sentence, Chief Resident Magistrate Dominic Magalichi says the convicts ought to have respected other people's rights, adding that they could have used other means of making money other than kidnapping children. In this matter, the convicts were facing 2 counts of abduction and 1 count of theft of motor vehicle amounting to 110,000 kwacha. You're watching the news on MUVI television. We take a short break. Join us on the other side for more stories.
We are celebrating the peace that the Lord has given us. Oh, Jesus! Baba Nashala pewa we Yesu senda wanyiwe senda wanyiwe Shishendi shalifwa Nashala pewa we Yesu senda wanyiwe senda wanyiwe Shishendi shalifwa Nashala pewa we Yesu senda wanyiwe senda wanyiwe Chendani kwa kuye Zambi wanye Papa kata mutumbi senda wanyiwe senda wanyiwe
your situations, in every area that you are believing God to arise. This is a moment you pray with us as we sing the song. Hallelujah.
Yove ya moneke ilange Yesu ilange le kamaka yove ya moneke we ushilekelesha abana bobe we utalali kama wimbini we unkoselesha mutimani Ima uilange ay 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 nalila papula lesa wakwa hana ima uilange kote ima uilange ay 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 Shilekele shabana wobe we utalali kama bimbini ukoselecho mutimani ima uilange we ushilekele shabana wobe